buried cows, live vultures, secret rituals, and a government house shrouded in mystery. Why is Governor Alex Otti refusing to step foot into Abia'S brand new government house? In an explosive interview on Family Love FM, Okoha Njoku Okoha, the governor's chief press secretary, pulls back the curtain on chilling rumors that have haunted the corridors of power. Whispers of occult practices, tales of animals buried alive, and incantations said to curse whoever dares to govern from within. While the administration brushes off these tales as superstition, the real question remains: why is the opposition so desperate for Otti to move in? Renovations? Or something more sinister? Stay tuned as we uncover the politics, the power, and the paranormal behind the walls of Abia'S State's most controversial building. What's your thoughts on this? Watch until the end and drop your comments in the comment section. Thanks for watching.
Good morning to you, CPS. Welcome to the program this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Chris, and thank you for having me. And I hope you are enjoying the release of her in Abia'S.
Oh, well, we're enjoying life. It's good to be alive every other time. Yeah. Well, let's start first off. A number of issues we would want to have you touch on this morning. Let's look at that government house. You know, a lot has been said about it, isn't it? From when this administration came on board, the governor time and again asked about the government house and why it's not put to use by the current administration. It said, first off, that hey, it wasn't going to dissipate Abia'S finances to put it to tests at the time, considering it not a priority. Back and forth continued until recently when a buzz was created about it following the comments of the governor. And then the Commissioner for Information on a tour of the facility with journalists said, hey, it's uninhabitable. It's a security risk. We are going to convert it to a five-star hotel. Can you speak more on this?
Yes, like I said, thank you so much for having me this morning. I think at the end of this interview, we would have nailed the issue of the so-called new government house. Please be reminded that that structure was not built by the ex-governor, the Excellency Dr. Otti. That was an initiative of the predecessor, Dr. Burïed. And that structure under the ex-governor of Abia'S, Dr. Otti, was built in 8 years. We kept on running this country. We kept on hearing promises of completing it and moving into during his tenure. But unfortunately, that never happened. Then, and Dr. Burïed came on board. That was in 2016. Government house was not his priority. His priority was to build a parochial home at his country home in Otti. That was the first thing that he did, and abandoned this same government house that we are raising dust about today. He left that structure until March 2023 when he lost the election. That's when he hurriedly moved in to what I call part of that structure and called it the completed government house. He hurriedly commissioned it on the eve of the inauguration, and himself never used the same structure that he claimed to have completed. Let me make this clear. On assumption of office, the Excellency Dr. Otti had already defined the priority areas of the government. As an economist, he drew his scale of preference on what he was coming to do in the state. And the government house, either the new one or the real old one, was never in the list, in the priority list of what he was coming to do. And obviously, we had no reason to doubt ex-governor that the new government house was completely completed. But it's something that took him by surprise, that after inauguration, he went there to look at what is on ground so that he can start working from there. But unfortunately, behold, it was a building, an uncompleted building, already commissioned just to deceive the construction agent. And because that was never part of the plan, and it was never in the scale of preference, then we went back to the old government house that was completely ruined. And you also reminded that before now, the government or administration before me were claiming that the old government house was rented of state, and they were paying rent to the owners of that state. Definitely, Dr. Alex Otti investigated that one, and up till now, the government is still waiting for the ghost owner to come and collect the rent. By 29th of this month, it will be 2 years here, and nobody has come along to claim any rent. Or maybe we don't know, the person might come after to claim their rent of them. So what am I saying? I'm saying that that was not part of the promise that His Excellency gave to Adam when he was contemplating elected. And that was why on assumption of purpose, he focused on those areas and tackled them. And he actually declared emergency on those areas. Waste management, security, road infrastructure, health care, and education. And then he reported to ASCAS, and they have alternative meaning. So if His Excellency had quickly jumped into completing the old government house, the so-called new government house, or going back to the old government house to put it in shape, and then he would have forgotten. The forgotten alternative would have been leaving the education sector to continue to decline, or the health sector, the security, infrastructure, all these things that the government had achieved in the past 2 years. One would have been a forgotten alternative to face the government house. But that's not the plan. To say this is not to say that His Excellency is unaware of the need to build a defeating government house for other states. But let me now the new government house by saying that, number one, that state was never intended for a government house. Number one, it's in a human environment, it's in a human state. And a government house cannot be sited on a human environment. You can ask any security expert. Then number two, there are many roads surrounding that state. Many roads around that state. Even when they say they completed, they didn't build the road leading to the so-called government house. But that's a story for another day. But there are many other adjoining roads surrounding the government house. And the last administration also allows individuals, private individuals, to build high-rising buildings close to and around that structure. So that's setting up a trap for His Excellency to start closing up roads that lead to people's property, and also probably demolishing high-rise buildings around that government house. So based on security report from day one, that place is not was never fit for purpose, and nobody can move in there at the government house. Then on the 5-star hotel, you can see trending. And then I can assure you, the state government is not building a 5-star hotel in a PPP arrangement to bring in global hospitality giant, probably Marriott or any other Hilton and all that, to take over that place, redesign it, and come up. Because at the capital city, you have a befitting hotel that you can say, yes, you are in the capital city. So it's no rocket science that the government is not going to invest billions in building 5-star hotels, because His Excellency Dr. Alex Otti is a private sector president. Okay. And obviously private people will come in and take over that place. But the condition is that it must be a 5-star hotel for the government to give you the concession.
Well, yes, I mean, the government position very well known and elucidated, but there are those who argue that yes, the issue and the excuse of the new government house having security risk might be valid, and are saying, hey, come on, if you have noticed and discovered that the old government house said to be a building owned by an individual is said to be false, why not channel resources towards improving it to the governor's taste rather than having him use his private residence at Mvosi to conduct government activities, and indeed saying, hey, improvements have been made on his own private residence, and not just that it cost over 2 million naira to have government officials converge for executive meetings, resources that should have been channeled towards improving the old government house. What can you say to this?
Great. The government has something to say because the state is moving forward. Now, like I told you, that building a new government house or upgrading the old government house was never in the agenda. He came on board with a plan, and it was not expecting to discuss the plan he had before assuming power. There are so many critical areas we needed to channel funds. So unless you are telling me that funds are unlimited, funds are limited. They are scarce. For you to do a government house, we must, I think we should we watched what happened in Anambra State. I think it was the last week or last 2 weeks. And you should know what a government house will look like. And the investigating of electricity is a man of tech. It's a man of class. You can't build a 18th century government house in 21st century for your state. Because anything that is worth doing well. And so obviously you can, if you go around the old government house, you see what is happening around there. There is a new structure, the FSD office. It's a two-story structure. It's almost completed. Then the government house clinic is being rebuilt to look like a government, like a clinic. And close by you can see the author of the table being remodeled and upgraded. And so gradually things are going on in the old government house, but the government is not prepared or was not prepared before now to challenge good resources in the building the government house. Let's get down to Otti, where what is the distance when somebody tells you it costs 2 billion or 3 million, I don't know about that.
Yes, for fueling of vehicles of officials that converge for executive meetings on a weekly.
Okay, so which means if the executive meetings are done in Omaha government house, people will also, the new commissioners and all government appointees will be living in the government house. They won't convince well. If I see is 20 minutes away from Omaha, 20 minutes away. So just to do something to talk about. Let me tell you, what is important is that Abia'S is no longer where it used to be. It doesn't really matter where the government is functioning from. And let me also tell you, I hope it's not what I'm thinking. I just hope it's not what I'm thinking. Why is this coming from the same people move to the government house, move to the government house, move to the government house? And before now we are saying no, they can't, we're not going to do that. All this diabolical, very alive from the new government house with the intention of eliminating the governor when he was newly elected. We didn't believe that there will be uproar. Go to government house, go to government house, go to Otti was never in government house.
Did it say something was buried in the new government house?
That's the rumor that we heard. That's the rumor that we heard. That from the rumor, and vultures and that and the right people were buried in that government house.
Was it buried before it was known that Dr. Alex Otti was going to be the governor of Abia State?
No, it was buried after the election.
After the election?
After the election, with incantations and all that. That's a rumor, like I said.
Okay, you're saying this as a matter of rumor, not fact.
Obviously, I told you it's a rumor, but I'm saying I'm beginning to think up the whole thing. Why this uproar go to government house? Governor KC we are basically conducting government businesses at Omaha. It was not an issue. He was conducting government businesses. You are aware, Chris. Okay, since out of Omaha, long week is always either in Aba or Omaha. That's the reality. So why government house, and let me tell you, after Joe Bacalo, no other governor has ever lived in that government house.
Okay. Chief Press Secretary, I mean, away from the government house, because we don't have time enough to have it dissect some of these issues.